Okay, so let me make this webinar live. And okay, so it looks like we are set. All right, so hi everyone. Happy Sunday. Thank you everyone who's here or watching this. As you know, today is the final day for enrollment for Employed Entrepreneur for the year. And so if you have been thinking about it, today is the day. It has been an epic launch, an epic 6 weeks, and I'll share with you guys more of the details after we close out enrollment. But for now, I thought what would be really fun is, a few weeks ago we did a live Q&A, that sorority party, which was really fun, with past ETE students so that you could see how women who are just like you have gone through the program and how they've used ETE to change their lives and their businesses. And so that was really great. What I thought would be really fun to wrap up the launch would be to bring on some ladies who joined ETE this year within the last few weeks, and to have them share with you a little bit about why they joined, because they had the exact same fears some of you might be feeling about if this is the right thing for me, if it'll work for me. And so I wanted to have them share with you what they were actually going through so that you can hear about it, talk it out, ask any questions to share, and then of course to share a little bit about how they're finding it already and some of the results that they've already gotten just from being in ET for a few weeks and taking advantage of the fast action bonuses. And so what I'm going to do is, this is a live Q&A. So if you have any questions at any point, we're going to be super informal. There's no, plan structure or anything. You don't have to wait until the end. Just go ahead and put your questions in the chat box and we'll answer them as they come up. That's what we're here for. We are here to answer your questions, and that chat box is right underneath this video. So in the meantime, while we're waiting for the questions to roll in, what we're going to do is go through the panel for each of these 4 students, and I'm going to ask that you introduce yourself, tell us a little bit about, what you're thinking your business idea is going to be, or if you already have a business, a little bit of what direction you're going, and then to share with us why you joined ETE. I think this is the biggest thing. This is building your business. Investing in a program like this is a hugely, hugely emotional decision, and there are so many just emotions and thoughts going on. I'm sure you guys remember, is this going to work for me? Is this the right one? There are so many programs out there. Is this the right time? And just share with us a little bit of that huge, powerful why that I've heard from all of you in your intro videos. Why it was now, it was this program, and why 2016 is the year. All right, so I think I have talked long enough. I'm going to throw it to you guys, and we can just go in order. So the first one I see on my screen is Joy. So let's start from left to right.
Hey there, thanks, Louisa. So a little bit about myself. I'm Joy Martinez, and I am a personal strengths and brand coach and owner of Strengths DNA. And my business is all about helping entrepreneurs and coaches discover and leverage their unique talents and their strengths and their personal brand for business success and to find joy in their work. I think a lot of people are missing that, and a lot of people think, oh, I don't even know what I'm good at. I don't know what my strengths are. How can I make this and monetize this into a business? So that's what I do. And the reason I joined ETE was actually because it was not so much fears around the program, because I've been following you, Louisa, for a long time, and I know how amazing you are, and I love all your stuff, so I was confident in what you were going to deliver. I went through the Weekend Empire Challenge that you had and had seen a lot of results from that, and so I didn't have any fears around what was going to be delivered. But the reason I joined was because I kept thinking, what if I don't join? Like, what's going to happen if I don't do this? At the time, I was in my 9-to-5, and I really wanted to be able to leave there this year. And I thought, if I don't do this program and I don't keep pushing myself like I did through the challenge, where is my business going to be? And ultimately, I saw that by doing the ETE program, my business was going to be way further along than if I didn't have that additional support and coaching from the program. So to me, it was kind of a no-brainer because I was more afraid of what my business was gonna look like if I didn't have your support. And you gave me that confidence in the 10-day challenge, and I really just put my full effort into the challenge, and I thought, okay, if I can achieve all this in 10 days during the 10-day challenge, just little bits of the program, what could my business look like in 6 months? So for me, I knew I had to do it. There was no question around it.
Oh, I'm so glad to hear that. Oh, that was so awesome. Such a really powerful why. And you're right. Sometimes the fear, or not the fear, but the thought of how much am I going to miss out? Where could my life be in a year if I did this versus if I didn't? That is a huge reason. So amazing. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. So the next person we would love to hear from is Lee.
So I want to say thank you, Louisa, for inviting me to this. I'm a career coach for immigrant professionals. I help them get six-figure jobs, and I help them through interview coaching, salary negotiation, all that cool stuff. So the reason why I joined ETE was because I actually talked to Louisa 6 months before this. And at that point in my business, I was doing a lot of work, but I wasn't being very strategic. I would do blog posts every day, and hustle-wise, I didn't have a problem. And I actually had a business coach at the time. But a lot of you may have had other programs before, and I just want to say that it's really about the results, right? And when I was talking to Lisa, I actually didn't have the money to sign up, and it wasn't even that much. It was like 200 or something. I know you've bumped it up since then, but I was like, I'll just stick it out with a business coach. And I will say that I want to respect all business coaches. I do think that I learned from every one of them, but at that point, now in hindsight, it's like if I don't even have that money to join, it's something to do with this strategy, right? And I saw Louisa, her group going from 200 people for entrepreneurial women, and it's exploded since now. And I was just like, I waited for 6 months, and maybe you're waiting, you've been waiting for a while. Does this work? Does this not work? So I'll just let you know the results. I joined around April 13th, and I had my first 4K day on the 29th of April. So one of the things that Louisa's program really helped me was the fact that she had a script for everything, and then she had a sales call strategy, and it wasn't just about, okay, this is what you do. And I actually heard her saying that, having a sales call, and that really helped me. And during that Friday when I made the 4K, I was like, I don't know if I should do more discovery calls. And I think a few days ago I listened to her call, and I saw her within 20 minutes close a client, and I was like, you know what, if Louisa's doing it, I should try it as well, and actually close 2 sales, and I had an extra 1,000 coming in. So if you're wondering, does ETE work, it hasn't even started, and I just did the bonus course, and the results have already, shown to be amazing. And just the group in itself, people have produced memes for Louisa, and just being in the group is just such a supportive and fun place to be, that I think if you're teetering on the edge, you're like, does this work, does this not work? Because if you don't make a change, you're gonna, like Joy said, you're gonna be at the same spot, right? It's May now, it's been 5 months since New Year's resolution. So if January you're like, I want to start my own business, but things have not changed in these 5 months, think about what's going to happen, right? Because ET is still open for today. You can still, start your own business within the next 6 months. So I think if you're not making it because of money, ask yourself, is it because the system that you don't have a system, or you just don't trust in yourself to make it happen. So I think ET is one of the best decisions I've made, and if you're looking for confidence or mindset, I will tell you, once you make that money, you will be hella confident. So that's my take on joining ET.
Oh, that's awesome. First, I love the results that you've already gotten. Of course, they're amazing, and I'm so glad that you're finding the bonus course so helpful. And the other thing I will share before we move on is I love what you said about if you don't do it now, 6 months from now, your life could be the same or it could be different. And I think that's really huge because I have a lot of people who come to me and say, this isn't the right time because et cetera, and I want to wait until next year. And, for some people that is the case. And if that's so, then, I'm all for that. I'm not about a hard sell. But for a lot of people, it's just, there's never going to be the right time. There's always going to be some reason or other, not now and later. And then when you put that off in 6 months or 6 years, you'll look back and think, darn, what could have happened if I'd started that much earlier? And so I love that you shared that. Thank you. And so far we've heard from two ladies who already had businesses and business ideas when they joined ETE. What I would love to do is the next two ladies are in a very different place, which a lot of people who are thinking about ETE are as well, where they joined just trying to, before they had a full idea of what they wanted their business to be, or they had an idea but they weren't sure exactly which way it was going to go. And so I'd love for them to share their experiences as well. So the next one is Mila.
Hello.
Hey.
Can you guys see me?
Yes.
Okay. Yes, my daughter and I came to the United States 2 years ago. So we had to leave everything behind. We came from the Philippines, and a lot has happened in the span of 2 years since we came here. Last year, I got out of my marriage, and coming out of that marriage, we really didn't have anything. I had no money, no career, nothing. And so now that when I realized that it all depends on me now, how my kids and I will move forward, what kind of future we will be able to establish for ourselves. It scared me because I was married for almost a decade, and I wasn't sure if I would be able to take on all the responsibilities. And the responsibilities of raising kids, little kids, are different from when you get to a point where you have college students. So I realized that I have to do something. I got a job, but then again, I realized that it's not stable enough. So I started thinking about ways to invest my salary, ways to I started thinking of businesses that I can possibly get into, but then again, there's the question of, well, I don't have that much to invest in any business. So what kind of business would allow me to get into much of a capital to begin with? And add to that the factor of not having a lot of time, because I have a day job. So all of that, but I knew that there was this sense of urgency. I knew that I had to take action. And so I decided, before knowing any specifics, before I had any specifics yet, I realized that I just have to make a decision that this is going to be the year that I will do something about it. I now work at a care home facility, and I knew right from the get-go that this is not what I'm meant to do for the rest of my life. I mean, I value my job. I view that as God's blessing, because it allows me to pay for our needs, buy us our food and pay the bills. But I knew there's something inside me that tells me this is not it for me and my children. And so I decided, whatever it's going to be, it has to be this year, and I have to make a decision. And then one day I was just browsing Facebook, like we always do, we all do. And then I came across the ad for the Weekend Empire Challenge. And so I said, cool, because before that I've heard of coaches, but I had no idea who Louisa Jo was. And I was like, just the idea of, hey, do you want to get out of your 9-to-5 and build your empire? I said, oh, cool. I mean, that's exactly, Louisa basically just answered all of the questions that were running through my mind. How can I get out of my 9-to-5? How can I start a business while in my 9-to-5 and not needing a lot of money to begin with? So I went through the free challenge, the Weekend Empire. It's a week-long challenge, and within that week, I learned a lot of things, and the idea of just getting to a business, any business, just didn't intimidate me anymore, because it used to intimidate me because I didn't have any well, I have just a little bit of a background because I used to be married to a guy who's into internet marketing and SEO, all that. But naturally, I knew I was not naturally gifted, in the entrepreneurial lingo, anything like that. So I was gifted in the creatives, but then Louisa kept pointing out that we all have talents and set of skills, knowledge, whatever that we have acquired all, in many years that we've been walking the planet. We've acquired set of skills that we can monetize, and that really encouraged me because I don't have the specifics worked out yet. I don't have any idea what kind of business I was going to start, but her encouragement, her assurance that surely we can find something, and that really gave me that confidence that I can do it. And so that was it for me. It was a no-brainer when she announced, she opened the doors for the ETE program. The only question for me was, okay, do I have the amount? She gave us the discount, but it was a no-brainer for me. And I've always believed this. If you really believe that this is your calling, if you really believe that you want something with the purest of intentions, for yourself, for your family, and to help other people, God will provide. And so He did. At that particular day, when Louisa opened the door for ETE, I said, I'm $100 short, and then a friend of mine said, I have $1 here, I have $1, go. Okay, and so I signed up, and that's it for me, and everything else, the rest is history. That's it for me. Thank you.
Oh, I love that. Thank you so much for sharing that. I mean, for those watching, Mila has shared her background, her story with us, and it's just really phenomenal and so moving. And, like Mila said, we truly believe that in ETE. Everyone has skills that they can monetize. You've been on this earth for 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 decades. You have skills that you can monetize. And just here already, we have such a diverse group of different businesses and types of people represented. And if you don't have an idea, like Mila said, we'll help you figure it out. I mean, Mila, we're already having conversations about all of the things that you could potentially be doing, and I'm really excited to see which way you end up going. But yeah, there are so many different businesses that you can start, things that you can do, and we will absolutely help you find them. So awesome. Thank you for sharing. And then the last person that we have is Ruby. Oh, Ruby, we can't hear you. Still can't. Okay, so now it's showing that you're muted. That's so weird. Can you try maybe taking off your headphones? Would that help? No, that is really weird. Let me see if there's something where I can unmute you, or no. Okay, let's do this. Do you want to try logging off and then coming back on? Okay, try that. We'll wait here for you. No worries. Gotta love technology. Okay, so in the meantime, while we're waiting for Ruby to come back, what I would love to do is just do a quick check for any questions, because I am seeing quite a few viewers, in the Google Hangout. I can see the number, but I haven't seen any questions come up. So just for you guys who are here and who joined a little bit late, just an FYI, you are free and welcome to ask us questions, anything that you're thinking about employed entrepreneur, anything that you want answered by me, by any of these ladies, let us know in the chat box, and we'll get them answered right away. You can start doing that now. We don't have to wait until the end of this call or anything like that. So this is your chance to get me live, to get people who are in ETE right now live, get their honest, no holds barred feedback. So use the Q&A. All right, so in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, the next thing I did want to, oh, Ruby, you're back. Can you say something? No, it's so weird. I don't know, do you have yeah, try with your phone. Try with your phone. Okay, so we'll try again, and okay, so I mean, for those of you, by the way, who are afraid that you're going to do something, start your business and have the tech not work, let me just share with you, you'll be fine. You know, these things happen all the time. All right, so the next question I want to cover in the meantime is, I know a lot of you addressed these in your intros, but I want to specifically cover it because this is a huge thing. There are a lot of people out there right now who are thinking, I really want this business. I really want to leave my job. I really want to have this life that I know that I'm meant for, where there's more to life than just this 9 to 5. But they have a lot of fears or concerns that might be holding them back. And a lot of them are, for example, not having the time. Okay, Leonarda, I'm shy and I don't have any idea of business. Okay, we'll get to that in 1 second because we will cover both of those. Those have been two very big concerns in the group as well. So we'll talk about that in a second. But what I think will be really important for you and for everyone as well is to hear that the fears that everyone here had, and I know a lot of the common ones are, if this is going to work for me, will I have the time? It's a big investment. What if, I'm shy? What if I'm not, good enough, strong enough, smart enough, whatever, magical enough? Will I be able to do it? And so I know I've spoken in one form or another, interacted with every single person on this call. And so I'd love for you guys to share a little bit what fears or thoughts or concerns even were going through your mind. Or if you didn't have any fears, which is awesome, share with us why you didn't. All right, so let's start with Joy. We'll just go through again so we can give Ruby some more time to come back on.
Okay. Yeah, so like I'd said, I was in my 9 to 5, and I started my business earlier this year, and I had a goal to leave my 9 to 5 this year. And I didn't really know how it was going to happen. I knew I had a pretty decent salary to replace, and I'm somebody that likes stability and wants to make sure that I'm not just being totally crazy with what I'm doing. So I knew I needed more strategy and a better plan to actually make it happen. And I had not invested in any type of coaching for myself yet, and I knew it was so important to do. And anyway, so I knew that I had to do something. And so this seemed like the right fit for me. And then literally, Louisa, the day after the cart opened, I think I had bought ETE, and I was like, all right, I'm so excited. I told my husband, and literally probably a few days later, I got approached by my 9 to 5 with an ultimatum on either choosing to stay working and shutting down my business that day or to leave. And this was a decision that I never thought I was going to have to make. I always pictured myself just completely leaving on my own terms. And I think I kind of freaked out my boss because I said, well, then I'm going to leave. I knew that it was my passion and my dream to do my business. It's something I had thought of for years, and I finally was doing it. And everything was in company policy, but we're going through a merger, and they changed policies, and they're now asking a lot of employees that have their own business to basically either walk away or walk away from their 9 to 5. So I was kind of put in a boat with a whole bunch of other people to make this decision. And can you guys still hear me okay?
Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And so I thought, oh no, now am I going to be able to afford ETE? I'm going to have to leave my 9 to 5. But then it actually ended up working out better because I got approached then by my employer once they figured out that I wasn't playing around. I was actually going to leave. And if I left, nobody knew how to do what I did there. So they approached me with a part-time contract. So now I'm actually on a part-time contract, just 15 hours a week. I'm able to still work my business and spend, tons more time doing what I love. And because of my consulting rate, I make more money than I was working 40 hours a week. And so I now have this, it's like it all came together all of a sudden. Mm-hmm. It was like my perfect destiny to do this, because I now have time to work on my business, to invest in the ETE program, and really commit to getting, the modules and exercises done, because when I do something like that, I don't want to like, half, blanket. I want to do it full force. And like, if I'm going to do the program, I'm going to put in the time and do it. And I only have to spend 15 hours a week doing other stuff that, it's like, okay, well, that's easy money, but it helps provide me that cushion while I transition. So I just feel so blessed that it all kind of came together like this. And I talked to my husband the day before I was offered the contract, and I said, listen, I just signed up for ETE. Like, do you think I'm going to have to back out? Like, I don't know what to do. And he's like, no, you can't. You have to do it. You have to do this. Like, we need you, to do this for our family. You've been wanting to do it, and we just have a lot of big goals. And so it was so nice to have his support to tell me, like, it's fine. You have to do it. And look what you did in those 10 days during the Weekend Empire Challenge. Like, you need this. Like, go for it. So that's kind of my initial fears right after I joined, and it was like, you know what, I have to do it, because where am I going to be in 6 months if I don't? I'm going to be a heck of a lot further with Luisa's help. So even though I have a business background and a marketing background similar to Luisa, it's different. And I think being an entrepreneur is different. Doing it for yourself is different than like my B2B corporate background. So I'm just so excited and so thankful for your support, and the accountability and that support is what really pushes me forward. I need that so I don't feel completely alone in this journey of being an entrepreneur.
Yes. Oh my gosh, that is so true. And thank you for sharing all of that. I knew some of those fears were going on, but I didn't know a lot of those as well. And you're right, that biggest thing, it's so scary. It can be so lonely starting out on your own. That's why we have this amazing community of people just like you guys who are just so determined and strong, and just being bigger than your fears and not letting them hold you back. And it's just, I can't wait to see what happens in 6 months. So amazing. Thank you for sharing. Ruby, I know that you're back. Can you try saying something, see if we can hear you?
Yeah. Hello, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Yay,
okay.
It works.
Okay, good. All right, let's go back and share with us a little bit about, your big why for joining, and let us know, where you were before you joined and all that good stuff.
Okay. So I'm so excited to be here, by the way. I am a date coach. Actually, my current job is I am a matchmaker and a date coach. And for the longest time, and you can ask all my friends and family, I've been telling them, I don't think this is what I want to do forever. Like, it doesn't actually make me happy. What makes me happy is coaching. That's an aspect of my job, but majority of the time I'm a matchmaker. And being a matchmaker, you have clients who don't necessarily want the coaching, let's say. They just want their matches. They want their dates really quick. So for the past year, I've been contemplating, like, I need to get out of here. Like, I know I need to get out of here, but I'm just going to wait a couple years. I'll build my experience. I'll be fine. I need security, so I realized that was probably the reason why I stayed. But then there was just this moment as so I did the Weekend Empire Challenge, and I saw it on Facebook, I believe. And that was the most productive I've ever been. I've talked about having this idea of being my own date coach, but I never really did anything about it. I just kind of sat around with ideas. But then her challenge made me sit down, be productive, and really thought about what I wanted to do. And I also started to realize and have hope that this could be possible. Like, it really could be possible. And at the very end, when she was launching ETE, I was like, I don't know if I want to make that commitment. I don't know if I'm ready. I don't know if I spend the money if I'm going to get it back. I do think that way as well. And so, but then there was this one moment in my job. I believe it was mid-afternoon, and I just sat back and I just said, I can't do this anymore. Like, I can't. And my why is because I keep asking myself, am I really happy where I am right now? Am I really happy? And I think for anyone, at the end of the day, our goal is to be happy with our work and love coming in every day and feel passionate and wanting to do the work. And do I feel that now? No. I don't. And what am I going to do about it? Right? So that's when I took the plunge. I was like, you know what? I'm just going to try. Like, I'm going to do it. And at the end of the day, I'm going to learn a lot. I just kept thinking, I'm going to learn a lot, and so it will be fine. And this is something I'm very, very passionate about too, and I need that in my work in order to do well. So, and then after joining, she gave us the bonus of getting your first paying client. So I just started doing the work there. And I started getting on calls, and I really didn't expect much from it because she was telling us to do interviews. And I didn't really have a product, I didn't really have a package, but I'll always remember Louisa saying, honestly, you're not going to, but you just have to get that client in order to figure out what it's going to be. And so I was on a call with one of them, and then after the interview, I started giving him free value on his online dating profile and how to fix it up and get matches because he was getting 0 dates, like 0 matches. So I did that, and instantly, he was getting results, and then the magic words happened, and he said, this has been so helpful, there's so much value, I want to pay you for this. Let's do this. I was like, what? And this was 2 weeks after joining, like 2 weeks, and 2K in my bank already. And I was like, what? I didn't, and this is before ETE even started. So I was really surprised. I stood up and I did a huge dance around the living room, and I was just so excited, and I realized that this is possible. I can make this happen. And also in the very beginning as well, I want to say I didn't really have a niche. I wanted to be a date coach, but I didn't know male women. I didn't really know where to go with it. But then I started to really think about, once again, what makes me happy. I want to work with people that I really want to work with, and I'm an expert at too in my field. And so now my niche is men who are a little bit more introverted. They're the nice guys that you typically see who are inexperienced or don't know how to go on dates or talk to women, and transform them to be that really good guy, not the nice guy, the good guy that all women want. And a lot of males seem to relate to that because you'll hear a bunch of them complain, like, oh, women don't want me, women don't respond to me, but I'm there to help them get to that spot where they can go out on dates.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing. No, that was, yeah, because I remember your video, your intro video, and it was just like, oh, yes, like that's the moment I know I've had. I know a lot of probably almost every person watching this or in the program has had, where you are sitting in your job and you are just thinking, I don't want to be doing this in a year or 6 years or whatever from now. That thought scares the heck out of me. And, I know there was a lot of kind of, before you joined, is this the right one? Like you said, it's a significant investment. Am I going to get it back? And, it's amazing from what you're sharing with us already. It's so obvious. You've done the work. You understand your people. And I'm so excited that you just, I think you really represent a lot of the people in watching this right now who really kind of have an idea what they want to do but aren't totally sure and are like, can I really make it work? And I love that you just did what we teach you, went out there, spoke with people, learned what's going on, got value, and then came back and was like, 2K in the bank, done. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. Okay, so I'm seeing more questions come in. We're going to get to them in just a second. I do want to hear about Lee and Mila's fears as well. So let's start with Lee first.
Sure. So I think I don't know if I should address a question about the person being shy, but I think that was actually one of my fears.
Okay, go for it.
I was super shy before. I'm the person who in high school, summer school, actually hid in the bathrooms in order to avoid talking to people. But I think shyness is really something that you won't really worry about once you're in the program because you'll actually start doing things. And I think once you start taking action, your fears actually go away. And you're in one of the best spaces if you're an introvert or shy person because coaching, you just talk to one person on the phone. You don't have to, give a keynote address. So I think a lot of the work involves just writing, right? Writing online, posting on the forums. English is not my first language, but, you have to just get yourself out there, and the more you practice, the more you're going to be fearless, as I say. I mean, I still have fears, but I think once you start doing the work, once you start, even if it's a wrong direction, you at least take some action to see what you like and what you don't like. So if you're feeling, I'm shy, I'm introverted, so put those labels aside for a moment, because once you start doing the work, you'll see that, even the most introverted person can own a business and they can reach hundreds of people because it's online. So I think if you're shy and introverted, this is actually the perfect program for you.
I love that. Thank you for sharing that. I don't know if many of you guys know this, but I'm a huge huge introvert and very shy as well. You might not be able to tell because I've over the course of this business have gotten more comfortable just being in front of people. But to what Lee was saying, I was that person who at conferences would just go off and sneak back into her room in between speeches because it was so painful and I just couldn't find anything to say to anybody, and I was just like, oh my gosh, someone just save me now. And so, you know, that's something, anyone who's watching this, I know a lot of us are I tend to attract a lot of introverts because that's kind of who I am. But I want you guys to know that first, you're going to have this amazing community of people who are incredibly supportive of you, and I'm going to be there as well, who are just going to be encouraging you, watching your videos, letting you know just step by step how you are just, you know, awesome. And we've already had people in the group do that, make their first ever videos and just share, you know, and it's such a supportive space. Once you start doing it a little bit, you know, the first 3, 1, 3, 5, whatever might be really hard, but you put yourself out there and sooner or later it becomes your norm. When you have a supportive family around you, I mean, I don't know if you guys really have thought about, those of you considering ET, how important having that supportive family is. I know when I was starting my business, probably a lot of you guys as well, or even talking about it, everyone around me just said, you're so crazy. You have a job. It's good enough. What are you thinking? My parents were literally just like, you know, you're good. Yeah, okay, go do that, in a way that really showed that they didn't really believe I could do it at all. And, you know, they said things like, don't quit your day job, or when I got my first client, who did you have to scam to be able to do that? You know, things like that. When you have just a group of I think we're at almost 200 really supportive women, that number is, first of all, big enough that you can really connect with a lot of different people from all over the world in so many different industries. And it's small enough that it's intimate enough for you to get to know everyone. It's not one of those 10,000 people groups or something where you get lost in the crowd, where nobody reads your post. You know, every post we've got in the group, someone is commenting, giving feedback. And that's what you're signing up for as well when you join us. So absolutely keep that in mind. And yeah, Lee, thank you for sharing, because I know that's a huge, huge thing that a lot of people feel. Awesome. So Mila, we would love to hear from you finally about the fears and just, you know, everything you have related to that.
Okay. Was I afraid? Boy, was I afraid. I mean, I'm a mom. Moms are always afraid, not just for themselves, for ourselves, right, but also for our kids, right? So, yes, I went through a lot of, I had to deal with a lot of fears. Basically, first, to begin with, I am a very scatterbrained, jack of all trades, master of none kind of deal. So just the idea of having to decide on a niche and all that, it scared me because, first of all, Louisa is, I think, she made it clear from the very beginning that the program will work it works best for an online service-based business that you want to build. So I had to think very carefully if I have an idea of what my service-based online business would be. So that's where it all started for me to become shaky. First of all, being a scatterbrained, I start thinking of one possibility, then just within 2 seconds I'm thinking of another possibility, and so I overwhelm myself. I created a problem for myself, actually. And so I also was very afraid of money being tight. The pay of a caregiver is not much, really, and when you're also having to support 2 college kids, a lot, the price, the numbers, it's relative, let's just say $500 might not sound like a big deal for someone who's already earning, thousands of dollars every month. But for someone who's just earning, a couple of thousand, or maybe just even 1,000, that's a lot, right? So for me, when I had to consider all of the things I had to pay for, all of the responsibilities, the price, first of all, the price of the ETE program is really reasonable, but just the thought of me if I would really make it, if I would really become successful, if I would really grow my business successfully the way Louisa has done for herself. And the possibility of me not making it happen, that's what scared me the most, because I would literally put everything I have in this, and I cannot afford to lose. I cannot afford to fail. But then many years ago, somebody wiser than me told me that, why do you spend a lot of your energy thinking about the possibility of failing? There's always a 50-50 chances of you failing and succeeding. So if you're going to devote just the same amount of energy anyway to thinking about the negative, why don't you devote the same amount of energy or even more to thinking about the positive side of it, you succeeding? So if there's a 50% chance of you failing, let's say, there's also a 50% chance of you succeeding. So at the end of the day, it's what feels good, right, that you have to dwell upon. So I decided, okay, it's not going to do me any good to dwell upon the negative or the negative possibilities. So I'll just devote all of my energy and time thinking about the possibility that I will succeed. So, and because being a single mom, as I pointed out earlier, it is not an option for me to fail. It really isn't. So it's just a matter of mindset. And that's also what I love about Louisa, because she stressed the point about the mindset, about getting into this with the right mindset. And it also helps so much that you have ladies around you in the group that are just supportive and have taken on a collective role of being my sister from another mother. I mean, seriously, I have not been a part of any group in Facebook or wherever, of any group composed of women that are as engaging, as fascinatingly diverse, as brilliant, and as kind and supportive to one another. I mean, really, community, the ETE community, we don't even call it a community anymore, just fam, pride, pack, sisterhood. It's because there's not really a word most suitable to really describe the relationship that you get to develop among the ladies in the group. It really helps. It boosts your self-esteem. It gives you the right kicking in the butt that you need. And while we're waiting for the ETE to officially start, we're using the community to just like brainstorm and vent, if there are days that we feel like, oh, I hate my boss, and that's what we're going to talk about. It really helps because it prepares us, not just the mindset, but also the heart, the courage, and that really means a lot. That is something I think that goes way beyond the amount that you're going to pay for the program. And I was just thinking about this last night. I have this alarm clock. It sits right by my bedside. How much does the alarm clock cost? It's less than $10, right? But if you ask me, what is the value of that alarm clock? Well, every day it wakes me up on time so that I get to work on time so that I can earn my wages for that day. And every day for the full month, it does its work. So if you ask me, is my alarm clock worth $10? Heck no. It's worth the monthly pay that I get, right? Because it's very, it helps me to do my job, to show up at my job. Well, of course, I have bigger ambitions than my job, but right now, that is the purpose that it serves for me. So translating it to ETE and the amount of money you're thinking of investing into it, you think that $297 or $397 is worth it all? Heck yeah, because if you show up and do the job and do the work and follow Louisa's steps, she's basically really guiding us through every step. If you do that, then that $297 is going to be worth, like so much more. It's going to be so much more. So it's, for me, that's the way that I look at it. It's not just, oh, am I going to lose the $297? If it's going to be replaced by thousands, hundreds of thousands, right? What is $297? If I hand you right now $1,000 in exchange for $200, I bet your sweet tears that you're gonna accept that, right? But that's basically it. You're paying $297 every month for 12 months, and the return is so much more. Plus you grow. Plus, let's not forget that you get to help a lot of people. You know, for me, like what Lee said earlier, I also am not. English is my second language. I'm a better writer than I am a speaker, but I believe that if you are meant to help people, then regardless of what language you speak or how fluently you speak it, you know, you're going to be able to touch lives, and you're going to be instrumental to their transformation. And that, I think, is worth so much more than all the money you're making, right? So it's not just, it doesn't stop at you making that money and you making the life that you want to live. It's also about helping other people live the kind of life that they want to live with your help. And that's how I think. Thanks.
Oh, I love that. Thank you for sharing all of that. I mean, I think that was really needed. You're so many really great points that you made, especially about the value, the trade-off. If you do the work, you know, we're not teaching you to build a $3,000 business. We're teaching you to build a business that'll sustain you and really make as much money as you want. And then the last thing that you really said, I think, is so huge. I think a lot of us want to have our own businesses not only because we want to leave our jobs, but because we want to do something meaningful. We want to go out there, change the world, help people, and this is where it starts. So amazing. Thank you for sharing that. And then, so what we're going to do now is, I did see some more questions come through, so we can go ahead and talk about these. Just to quickly, Leonardo wrapped up her previous question, said thank you very much, Lee, so that's awesome. What I will say is, if you don't have any business ideas, you know, like a lot of these ladies have talked about, we will help you figure that out. I mean, literally, there are people online creating 6, 7 businesses, 6, 7-figure businesses with whatever you can think of, teaching you to use Microsoft Excel, learning how to play piano by ear without reading sheet music, learning how to play tennis online, you know, giving you little cooking recipes and lifestyle, and it just goes on and on and on. We will help you figure out what skills you have that you can monetize. And Leonardo, I promise you, you have those skills, even if you don't have a business idea right now. We will help you figure those out, and then we will teach you how to market and sell whatever you're offering so that it's virtually guaranteed to succeed. And so, Leonardo, most of our students actually in Employed Entrepreneur join us without their full-fledged business idea. You've already heard, for example, from Mila, who, you know, has a lot of things that she could be doing but not a full idea yet. Or Ruby, who joined, she knew what she wanted to be doing but not the niche or who or any of that. And we will absolutely help you just as we've helped these ladies. Leonardo, but I really want to do something. Yeah, that is the most important thing. As long as you have that drive, that passion to build your own business, change lives, including your own, we will help you get there. Okay, Aurora, good morning. Monique, can you briefly explain some discovery call strategies? Yes, Monique, so that is absolutely something that we cover in Employed Entrepreneur. We'll teach you how to get sales calls, strategies of what to say and how to say it on calls and how to handle those. That is absolutely something that we cover as well. And as you've heard from Lee, for example, just using some of the very even introductory stuff that we teach on how to do sales, she went out there and had a 4K day. So that is absolutely something that we will help you with as well. Stacy, I'm trying to save up for money for a house, and signing up for ETE would not allow me to do that. Should I wait to sign up or wait to buy my house? Stacy, that is a huge question. I cannot give you an answer to that. You know, that's a big choice, and I will say, I think at the bottom of your heart you know the answer. I'm not the person who's going to say, oh my God, you need this more than anything else. You know, when the time is right for you, you'll know. And right now, if you know you have to choose between one or the other, listen to yourself, because I have a feeling that you already know which one is more important to you. And so, all about your priorities. Okay, so Mary, I'm a former NBC television news reporter, currently a senior spokeswoman for the Fed and Army vet. I'm planning on quitting my 140K job in December to return to grad school using the post 9/11 GI Bill and spend more time with my toddler twins. Oh, that's so cute. I'm thinking of launching a blog, which I'm not sure how to monetize. Also have done senior level in-person media training and want to begin consulting doing media trainings. Will ETE work for those business ideas? Yes, absolutely. By the way, I love all of the stuff that you have going on, especially for the in-person media trainings. What we would really be able to help you do is not only in person, but package that into an online service so that you can help train people who are not only near you physically, but all over the world. We actually have students in ETE who are doing that or something really similar to that. Media trainings, video trainings, communication trainings. That is hugely in demand right now because, I mean, as you've seen from Leonardo's question and from some of the feedback here, you know, to build an online business, to just really more and more in today's world, whether you have a job or your own business, you need to be able to be comfortable communicating with people. You need to be comfortable putting yourself out there, showing up in front of whatever you need, wherever you need to show up. And so this type of training is hugely in demand. We can absolutely help you set up a business to monetize that skill. In terms of blogging, we do cover how to blog and how to use that to just sustain and grow your business. That being said, we don't focus on using blogging as the primary way to build your business. We found that that takes a lot longer. It's a lot harder to monetize, especially one of the most popular methods to monetize blogs is through advertising on the blog. It takes a lot longer, especially when you're looking to replace, for example, 140K, than it would be if you were just running an online consulting business doing media training, right? So I hope that answers your question. If not, Mary, let us know, and I will elaborate a little bit more. Okay, so a media training company, in-person and one-on-one type of consulting done in small or large in-person groups, will ET work? Yes. The only caveat is we will help you focus more on bringing on clients online. I do want to say that we don't focus too much on the physical aspects of building a business just because a lot of our students want to travel all over the world. They want online businesses, and so that's what we focus on. We'll teach you how to go out there, get your clients, do group programs, all of that via an online setting. And of course what we teach can be applied locally as well, but I do want you to know that that's our emphasis. Okay, so Ashley, Lestine, hello, good morning, awesome, hi ladies. Sandra, what payment options do you allow? Sandra, the payment plan is currently $297 per month for 12 months. The program is a 6-month live program. You get 3 calls per month. You get unlimited access to the private Facebook group. And after that, you do get lifetime access to the content, any upgrades we put in, and the community. We offer a 12-month payment plan because, as some of the ladies here have already mentioned, it's a little bit easier and more doable for our students, and so we want to support you. That's why we offer that longer payment plan. Ashley, what about internet-based direct sales or MLM businesses? Yeah, so this is a question that we've gotten a few times before, and what I'm going to say is I want to first emphasize that ETE is focused on building your own online service-based business. That being said, so I do want to be totally clear on that. That being said, pretty much everything we teach can be applied to a direct sales or MLM business. We've had students do it with success in the past, and we actually have quite a few students in ETE in this round who are doing direct sales or MLM as well. They might be really great accountability partners for you too. And so I just want to share with you kind of both sides of that. Awesome. Sandra, if we are not able to make this first payment, is there a website for us to sign up in a couple of weeks? Sandra, enrollment closes today, and we will not be reopening it for the rest of the year. If it's a matter of you need some time to gather the funds, we're happy to be flexible within reason. Send us an email at support@louisajo.com. Let us know what's going on, and we'll see if we can support you. Awesome. What other questions do you guys have? I'm just going to wait a little bit, and then, because I do want to make sure that we answer everyone's questions. And then if there are no more, there are a few things that I do want to cover. Okay, so while we're waiting for questions, what I would love to hear from everyone on the panel is, this is really the last question. well, actually, I think the next to last. How has it felt so far being in ETE? You know, with the community, with the support you've received. How are you feeling after just joining the program? And the other part of that is, if you've gotten results, you know, just in terms of clarity, financially, whatever, can you share with us a little bit the results that you've gotten? And so let's I guess mix it up a bit. I guess we can start with Mila.
Yeah, okay. What I've gotten so far, oh, okay. I feel smarter, a lot smarter now, because during the Weekend Empire Challenge, when Louisa started talking about lead magnets, I was like, Kleenex, please, I'm getting major nosebleed here. but now I know what a lead magnet is, what an opt-in is, and now when I talk to my friends about it, they're like, oh, you're so smart. Yes, I'm so business savvy now. I feel like, so it's like, you know, that's just a glimpse of things to come, you know, of the kind of growth that that you're gonna experience, and that's just even, you know, about the Weekend Empire Challenge. It's not even the ETE yet, you know, and I already feel so like a businesswoman now, a successful businesswoman. I'm surrounded by many women in the group that are already you know, starting to make a name for themselves. A lot of them are also established but just want to grow their businesses. So just being in the company of these fabulous, brilliant women make me feel like I'm already, you know, at their level too. So you hang around the people that you want to become someday, right? So to me, the growth, the development that I have experienced so far, even before ETE officially starts, that to me is very valuable. That is priceless to me, because the knowledge that cannot be taken away from you. Whatever knowledge you acquire, that's going to stay with you forever, and you're going to be able to use it. ETE or no ETE. I mean, you know, even if you pursue something that after learning the business strategy that Louisa will teach you, you get to take that with you. That's why it makes sense that there is no what's that? Money back guarantee or something like a cancellation. I'm sorry about that. The cancellation, the cancellation deal, right? Policy or whatever, because it's not something that you can really give back. Like, okay, it doesn't work for me, so Louisa, can I get my money back? Meanwhile, this is the knowledge that you gave me. I'm gonna give it back to you. It doesn't work that way. So for me, I think that I'm gonna throw away this phone. Like, sorry, but I can just like anyway. So to me, yes, I have learned so much more about business, about the relationship between you and your prospective clients. I have learned so much about that even before we started the ETE program. Then I have learned about it, you know, in my 10 years of marriage to my
Oh no.
so
Uh-oh.
Oh no, Violet,
the,
lost you for a second,
okay.
but you're back. You're back.
Yeah, okay, yeah. So that I value that so much. And what was the other question? That was
Yeah.
the relationship, yeah, with the women. Yeah, that is, I've already said it before. It's really priceless for me, because after this, you know, we're already talking about where we're going to celebrate, like after the program. We're already like, our vision is already there, like months ahead of us. Like, we're already talking about going to Vegas and going to Magic Mike live show. I mean, it's crazy, but really it makes the journey even more fun. You know, the fear is there, but it gives you the courage to press on. It gives you the confidence knowing that you're not alone in the journey. You're not alone in the fears that you're facing. If you're thinking about, am I going to make it work? I heard, I read in one of the questions earlier that I have no idea for a business. I had no idea for a business, but the clarity, yes, I have developed the clarity. I mean, I'm still waiting for Monday when we start officially, for tomorrow. To really just like get a confirmation from Louisa. But as far as clarity is concerned, yes, just by talking to Louisa and the ladies in the group, I have now, I think I really feel in my gut that I am meant to serve single moms. So because I'm a single mom, and I have been a single mom for most of my children's lives, and my son is 23 years old and my daughter is 19. So for most of their lives, I've been a single mom. So if I do an introspection, what experience have I gone through that I could claim a mastery on? That's it. Being a single mom, and now that I have just recently gone through a divorce, that adds spice to all that. So now, yeah, that's where I am at now, and I know I have no doubt in my mind that more that I would gain even more clarity and assurance as we go through the process. So I'm very optimistic.
Awesome. I love that. All right. So the next person I'd love to hear from is Lee. Tell us a little bit, like I said, how you're finding ET already, and let us know again the results that you've gotten so far.
Sure. So the results is that, from listening just to your discovery calls and just through your case studies and scripts, I've been able to land 2 clients and had a 4K day. And the community that you built is really just amazingly positive people from different areas of the world. And I've been through smaller programs in size where the excuse me, the coordinator wasn't even as involved as you, and you actually answer all of our questions. I don't know how you do it. You're like some sort of superwoman where, like, every question that they tag you, you're actually so responsive, and it's, yeah, like you said, reaching 200 people. And even the people who are there, they answer any questions that you have, and just such a diverse experience and that supportive community. It's kind of unparalleled, because I've been through group programs before, and the involvement and people encouraging you is just really phenomenal. So I think the community that you built is truly amazing.
Oh, amazing. Thank you for saying that. And to be honest, I feel the same way. I don't think this is something I can take credit for. But I agree. The community is incredibly it's one of a kind. There is nothing like it out there. The group of women that we've brought in, how smart, how determined, just brilliant and supportive and kind. It's just, I have never seen anything like this anywhere. And so, yeah, thank you for sharing that. And I completely agree. So, oh, awesome. Okay, so the next person I'd love to hear from is Joy.
Okay, so I'll focus on what was the first part of the question that you had, Louisa? I heard the results part.
Yeah, so how you've found being a part of ETE so far.
Oh, okay. So, I mean, like everybody else said, I'm loving the community, and I don't know how you answer everybody's questions either, but you do. And even if it's just like, that little bit of support that somebody needs and encouragement, and I'm just loving connecting with, like I said, I like to have accountability, so I like connecting with the other women and just knowing that, like, I'm not doing it alone and that we can all go through this journey together. And then my results, I'm still working through the bonus, your first paying client course, but just from the 10-day weekend Empire Challenge, like right when we started this whole launch period off, little things with each daily activities really helped turn around my business. So just even looking at how I had my opt-in, I had a week-long email course as my primary opt-in, and while a free course is amazing and it's tons of value and I was getting good feedback on it, it's a lot to take in, and it's a lot. And I said, and so you had mentioned something about, give them enough and give it in a bite-sized chunk. Nobody's going to want to read a 40-page PDF. And so then I thought, okay, well, this isn't a 40-page PDF, but this is a 7-day, like, a ton of content email course. Maybe it's too much. So I took one little bit of that and had one day of my course that focused on writing your brand story. So I thought, well, I'll create a one-page checklist. Like, that's easy, and I've already got the content. It'll be easy for me to create the checklist. So I did that on the second day of the Weekend Empires. I created a new opt-in, updated my website with it, and started, talking and promoting the checklist. And it's actually done really well. And I was starting to see, oh, wow, people are liking this quick delivery of information, just a one-page PDF that they can really take in and absorb pretty quickly. So I thought, okay, well, let me do the same thing when we got to day 6 and we were talking about kind of putting ourselves out there. And I don't remember exactly what day 6 was, but I had put out there for a brand story assessment call, and a 30-minute basically call where we'd walk through like what their story is, and I'd help them piece together their story and help it make sense for them and be able to deliver it in a really, you know, easy manner. And so I ended up booking 17 brand story assessment calls, and in my calendar, and I have a 2-year-old son as well, so I was doing these at like 8 and 9 o'clock at night usually, and you know, my husband would be like, oh, you got calls tonight? I'm like, yep, I got calls tonight, I got calls tomorrow night, I got calls next day. You know, just packed full of these assessment calls, but it really helped me, one, get comfortable doing those types of calls, and I guess boosting my confidence and like what I was talking about, and like found an aspect of my course that I like people really wanted information for. So actually I'm in process now of switching my email course over to like a course platform that's more of an evergreen product on my website, because I realized how much value there is there. So I'm adding video trainings with it and making it more of a product to, you know, have a passive income product on my website. And that's something that I hadn't really thought of at first, but I thought this is so much information and I have this already done. I can add some more to it, make it even more valuable, and then have a price tag put on it that's still, you know, affordable for people to, you know, purchase, but I didn't need to give away like that much. It was like so much for people to take in. So I had that, and then on day 8, one thing that I hadn't really done is any type of PR, and so you had talked about getting, you know, published on YFSmagazine.com and Huffington Post, and those are all things that I had wanted to do. I just hadn't done it yet. So I said, okay, well, what's holding me back? So you had recommended to start with YFS Magazine. It's a little bit lower hurdle than the Huffington Post. So I went with that. I wrote, again, on this similar topic, I wrote 7 steps to create your brand story, and that's what my article was about. I thought, well, it's been performing good in my assessment calls. It's been performing good in my new checklist that I created. And so I wrote the article and even have like a link to my checklist in the article. So, and I can tell, you know, which traffic is coming from the YFS magazine. So that got published May 9th. And so I'm excited because now I can take that and I've got something to show Huffington Post when I write a post for that and try to get, you know, more easily published. So those are just some of the things that I've done, but just in that short period of time, you know, I've grown my Facebook group, I've grown my email list, I've kind of switched over how I'm doing some of my packages, and that's what I'm really looking to continue to get with the program is like fine-tuning my offerings and my packages and really continuing to do that market research to, you know, find out exactly what my ideal client wants from me, because I kind of like thought, okay, well, I'm going to pick the brand story piece, and then I saw how well it performed, and I'm like, okay, people want more of this type of info. So, you know, continuing to do that type of stuff as I work through my programs and continue to grow my business. So that's been some of my results so far.
I love that. No, that's amazing. So many great results, and I can't believe we haven't even started yet. So no, this is amazing. Thank you for sharing. And so, okay, we'll wrap it up with Ruby.
Okay, so for me, what do I have? The first question. Okay, so the support in the group, like all the ladies are saying, is amazing. And like they're saying, Louisa does respond to literally every single post. I don't know how she does it. But what I will say is this. It's not just the support, but I realize the feedback you get from ladies, especially because everyone is so different and it's from ladies all over the world, like it's really helpful feedback. And also the network of ladies too. You never know, you know, what opportunities that or what network they have. So I will say this as an example. The other day, I was having a hard time finding Facebook groups because the type of men I want to work with, it's not easily searchable for men who are in groups that want to date, especially introverted men I want to work with. So I did a post about that. And I asked ladies, like, what should I do? What should I focus on? And Lee actually commented, and she had a friend that had his own Facebook group about, it was a dating list. And so I joined the group, he reached out to me, and we actually met yesterday. And that built my network, and he sat down with me, and we started to partner up, and he even at the end of that, because I started helping him with his dating life as well, and he's like, I need to work with you. Like, I just need to work with you. And I was like, what? You know, I would have never met him or never had that opportunity if it wasn't for Lee, who I would have never met if I didn't join the program. So that is an immediate result, actually, that just happened yesterday. So that's really exciting. And results in general, like I was stating, I had a lot of interviews, and I made my first 2K in 2 weeks. And from the other ones that are still deciding, I'm giving them free value, and I got testimonials off of them, which is very, very helpful. And then I get feedback off of them as well. And I'm slowly building my program even more, and I'm refining it to figure out what I really want in my product. And I'm having these ideas. I'm just having these moments where I'm like, this is it. This is it. I think every single week I always have that moment, and it feels so exciting to have that.
Oh, I love that. Oh, you're right. It's so exciting. I mean, at all stages of building your business, but especially when you get that first paying client, or, you know, sell out your first program, or, you know, those first, it's kind of like, holy cow, you know, I've been thinking about this, dreaming about this, and now it's actually happening. Little things like that. It's the best. So that's amazing. Thank you for sharing that. What we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and wrap up, because I know we're a little over an hour, and I want to be respectful of everyone's time. Okay, so just I think one more question. We did have Katie say, hi everyone, I'm late but happy to be here. Hey Katie, good to see you here. And then Ashley, single mom here, empowerment. So awesome. Okay, so Mary, the last question we had was, I'm concerned about the time commitment to starting now with everything else I have going. Grad school full-time, not quitting my current job until December. I know the timing will never be perfect, but is today the final day to enroll in which portion? Does it include any private coaching? What is the time commitment you estimate is needed to become successful? So lots of really good questions. Here are my answers. You're right, the timing is never perfect. There's always going to be something, especially for someone like you who is just, I can tell, you know, go, 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 in a good way. I'm the same way. The timing will never be perfect. Today is the final day to enroll in the program. So we are closing enrollment for the rest of the year. We won't reopen until around this time next year if we do. So hopefully that answers that question. Does it include any private coaching? No, I no longer offer private coaching in any way, just because of where my business is. That being said, with Employed Entrepreneur, you do get access to my feedback in the private Facebook group and in 3 weekly live group calls per month and throughout the 6 months of the program. And those are in the evening. Those are at a time that works for the person who's doing all of these things the way you are. And we stay on for as long as you need to have your questions answered. What is the time commitment you estimate is needed to become successful? That's a really good question, and it's also one we get a lot. This is what I'm going to say. First of all, ETE is tailored for the super busy person in a job. I've had the experience of building my business while in a really demanding 9-to-5, and so the program doesn't have like 10 hours of video or audio that you need to review every single week before you can actually go and work on your business. It's tailored in a really specific, unique to us way where you have really tactical step-by-step PDFs that you implement, really short audio videos for the most part, and then of course there are in-depth video trainings for the more in-depth material, but in general, it's really detailed and to the point. So all of your free time, no matter how limited it is spent on your business, not watching videos or listening to audios. That being said, we've had students who have joined the program right before they were about to have a baby, right, who were in a job. We've had students who were in a job and doing grad school. And so we've had students who were doing a lot of things as well be able to come in and succeed. Of course, the more time you put into it, as with pretty much everything, the faster you'll succeed. However, there's no, magic number. It's whatever you can put in, you'll go at your own pace. You have lifetime access to the material, to the community, and so you will succeed at whatever pace you need to. But yeah, that being said, the time that you do have in ETE will be spent on building your business and not on watching a ton of videos. So Mary, I hope that answers your question. If you have more, let us know in the Q&A. And what we're going to do now is really quickly, I just want to wrap up. And what I'd love to do is go really quickly, rapid fire, through each of the ladies on the panel and just have you wrap up and share with us. If someone is watching this, they're on the fence about ETE and knowing today is the last day, what really quick, answer, response, piece of advice would you have for them as someone who was, in their exact same place just a few weeks ago? All right, so we'll just go left to right. So let's start with Joy.
So I guess my biggest piece of advice would just be to ask yourself the question, where am I today and where would I be 6 months from today if I did the program, and where would I be if I did not do the program? And I think pretty clearly, and you'll feel it in your gut, you'll know where you'll be. I mean, just a little, even if you take even half the information that we're going to learn, I mean, I know your business is going to be, just so much further along than where it is today. So just, ask yourself, is it more scary to actually, do it and reach my dreams and be where I want to be, or should I just stay where I'm at today?
Awesome. So true. Amazing. Okay, so Lee.
So I'll put on my analyst hat for a little bit because I used to be a business analyst. So one of the speakers I went to in a business conference, she said that on a $40,000 a year salary as a secretary in New York City, it would take her 20 years to pay off her student loans. So I'm saying this because some of you guys are in debt right now. Like me, I'm much faster in paying off my student loans, but I'm still in the process of it. Or maybe you're considering buying a house, or you have a new child coming in. All these things require money, right? And if you think about where you are right now, how are you going to pay off that debt? Or is it going to take you 20 years, or would you rather pay it off now? Because I can tell you, I invested like $300 in Luisa's program. I made $4,000. That's like a 100% plus return, right? And I could pay off the program right now if I wanted to. The program didn't even start, right? So think about the debts that you have. Think about the life that you want. If you keep going where you are, how long is it going to take you, right? So if you have this pretty much guaranteed program, so you have to do the work, right? But if you have this program where it's generated so much money, not only for me, but for all her case studies before, it's kind of like, it's just up to you, right? Are you willing to make that choice today or later on, where you have to, spend even more effort and it costs you more to stay where you are? So it's something to think about, yeah.
Oh, amazing. That is so true as well. Spot on. Thank you for sharing that. Awesome. Mila.
Yes, I'll just point out four things for you. First, you're feeling uncertainty and fear. Congratulations, you're normal, like many of like all of us. Okay, and second, sure, you can Google, you can get your information for how to start your own business and be successful at it. You can get your information on the internet and just listen to free webinars here and there. But then why go about it, like a headless chicken, when there's somebody who has done it and done it many times and can guide you through it, right? That's number two. Point number three, if you're employed, I think of it this way. If you're employed and you're living on just, from paycheck to paycheck, that's just kind of like your boss, handing you the fish to eat for the day, sort of. But Luisa is like teaching you to fish, so that you can feed yourself, for a lifetime, right? And then you can go off and teach other people too. So it's the principle of teaching a man to fish versus, handing him the fish. So, heck, if I would be getting into the fishing business, why would I ask somebody who has not done it before, or who has only, fished for like, inconsistently? I would get the best fishermen, and get the best tools, right? And then lastly, living with regrets. That's the worst. That's the worst, when you're just gonna live the rest of your life wondering what could have been, what should have been. Just go for it. Just go for it. Listen to your heart. What does it tell you? Pray about it, but but go for it. If you really feel that this is what you're meant to do and you have the resources, go for it.
Oh, I love that. I love that you had 4 points, and they were so on point for all of them. So thank you, Mila. That was awesome. All right, Ruby.
So I want to say, do this for you. You're here for a reason. You're listening in to this for a reason. You want to be here. There's something in your mind saying, like, I think I need to do this. And this is investing in you and your happiness. Can you imagine being closer to that happiness? And we can say that you will get closer. We're all getting closer to that happiness, and it's so exciting. And what I will say also is that I think a big part of this was that fear coming into it. But honestly, it's a fear because that dream of yours, it's big enough. I don't think that dream it would be that big if you're not afraid of it. And I'll wrap up with, like I always say to my clients as well, is that if you're scared of it, it's real.
Oh, I love that. That is true. I mean, if you're not scared, it's probably because, you're not pushing yourself enough, right? Yeah, I still feel the same way every time I set a big goal. If it's not big enough, if I don't feel scared, I know it's not big enough. So I love that. I want to say thank you, all of you ladies, for being here, for sharing your experiences, for taking out now an hour and a half from your Sunday to really just come here and answer everyone's questions and share your experiences. And I mean, I'm just blown away by the really great advice you guys have. I was sitting here thinking, oh man, I need to remember some of that. But seriously, thank you guys for being here. I'm really excited to get started tomorrow. And then for everybody on the call as well, thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing a really great energy. You are really smart, really well thought out questions. And, like we were all saying, we would love to have you come join us and be a part of the ETE family. Enrollment closes at midnight Pacific tonight. We start tomorrow. And Jonita said, if you have a slightest clue that you want the lifestyle of an entrepreneur, I say take the leap of faith. I joined last week after thinking for a month, and I'm happy to say that I did it as an investment to me. I applied for my business LLC and DBA, and I consider this as a business expense. I have $15K in student debt, and I took the challenge. Yes, Jonita, I remember, we were in the Weekend Empire. You are, I saw your video in the ETE Facebook group. We're absolutely here to support you, and thank you for sharing that. So awesome. Like I said, thank you everyone for being here. So much love to everybody on this call, and I hope you guys have a great rest of the weekend wherever you are. All right. Bye, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.